Let me get this straight. Not only do I get to talk about Advance 2 today, but also Sonic Prime. And not only that, I literally just put out a review of this cute little guy. The best figure of this advent calendar so far. Bro, Christmas came early this year. I'm so happy to do this. Alright, no more messing around. No more messing around. Let's dive right into Sonic Prime! What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, your number one stop destination for anything and everything animation. It's Sonic the Hedgehog, and today, especially that last part, because we're finally talking about Sonic Prime. I have been waiting for so long for this show to finally come out, and for me to finally start these episode reviews. This is one of the other big reasons why I did this whole SoniCember in the first place. Just so I could talk about this show. Because, oh man, I'm at a loss for words. I literally just finished binging all 8 episodes that are out so far, and it is incredible. Now, I can't say whether or not I like it more than Sonic X, because, for those of you that don't already know, Sonic X is a show that's very near and dear to my heart. It's literally what made me a Sonic fan, because yes, my first game may have been Sonic the Hedgehog 3, where is it here? This one right here. Sonic 3. But X is what got me into the characters. So, X, as much crap as it gets all over the internet for whatever reason, because for kids probably, it holds a very special place in my heart. And now we have this, and I might need a bit more time, but I can say that while X may still be my favorite Sonic show, this one's without a doubt the best one, because Sad AM was good, but it felt a little too uneven. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is abysmal garbage, and the OVA doesn't really count as a show, because that's more of a movie. And, well, I already did a whole review on that, so I'm not going to go into detail. Anyway, let's just dive right into Sonic Prime. Let's start with, of course, Episode 1, going right into the plot. So, it starts out with Sonic running across Green Hell, as we've seen before, and he runs into Froggy, you know, the clip we've already seen that was released at Geek Week a while ago. And then, we follow Sonic up this mountain, and he arrives to fight Eggman as usual, and all his friends are already there, and it turns out he's late. I love the back and forth here between the characters, like, with Knuckles like, "Nothing flusters me, Sonic, except when you're late." Also, I really like that they kind of went the Sonic movie route and gave Knuckles a much deeper voice than usual. But it's cool that they're all there, and it's cool especially that this character's here, Rouge the Bat, one of my all-time favorites. For those of you that don't remember my Sonic characters, tier list video. Sorry, I'm getting off track. Let me continue. So, they beat back the Badniks, and all kinds of crazy stuff ensues. Sonic talks to Rouge, talks to Knuckles, talks to Tails, and talks to Amy. And even kind of flirts with her a bit, because he, like, leans up on the robot head, like, all cocky and smug. And it's really interesting. And then he goes running up the wall, and Eggman's trying to grab the prism out of the ground, but Sonic spin dashes at the wrong time, doesn't listen to what his friends are trying to say, and shatters all reality. And that's when he ends up in a new place called New York City. Not Yoke. Yoke. New York City. Get it? Because yolk like egg. Ha ha ha. Funny. So then he ends up in the city, and he ends up getting smacked by everything in sight, just like it was in X. And he's trying to figure out what happened and what's going on and why people won't listen to him. And then he's still trying to figure out what's going on. and he finds this weird roboticized part in an alley, and he goes running up the wall again, trying to get up in the sky to see what happened, and he sees that this is still Green Hill, it's just different. And as he tries to remember, we get a flashback to earlier that day, where Sonic was fighting an Eggman robot, which supposedly had Eggman inside of it. But Tails figures out that Eggman is in fact not inside of it, and tries to tell Sonic that, but then Eggman decides to really get on Sonic's nerves by picking at his friends, and that's when Sonic, let's just say he gives him the old Goku treatment and just smashes him straight into the ground with, like, Goku level force. I'm sorry I'm making Dragon Ball references in a Sonic video, but come on, guys. The references and jokes are easy to make here. So then, afterwards, Sonic sees that Tails is upset, and he goes to his lab. And in a really nice little Easter egg that they actually use twice in here, he goes to Tails' lab, and Tails' password is literally 1992, which of course is the day that the year that Sonic 2 was released, aka the birth of Tails, at least here in America. I know technically the Master System version came out first, but screw it. We all pretty much consider the Genesis version Tails' origin. So he goes to Tails, he talks to him a little bit, and then as they're talking, and as he's trying to cheer him up, Roosh comes in, and she talks about how she's chasing this shiny gem called what was it called again? Chaos Prism. Thank you. That's what it was. The Chaos Prism. And as she's talking, Sonic is sitting there like, well, how'd you get in here? And then she just rolls her eyes just like, you left the door open. That legit got a laugh out of me. Like, no joke. This show is very funny and its writing is very sharp. And what's also interesting here, there's no lowbrow humor. There's no fart jokes. There's no toilet jokes. There's none of that stuff you would expect in a kid's show. But instead, it's really smart. It's very well written. Sure, there's a bit of cringy lines and a little too much self-referential humor, like when Sonic says, "What in the Green Hills is going on?" You know, stuff like that. That can be a little bit cringy. But you know what? X has cheesy, cringy moments too. I'm willing to give it a pass. Not to mention, I just had a stupid grin on my face the whole time watching it. So they all start forming up a plan. And that's when Sonic flashes back to reality, and he tries to find a familiar face. And originally he ran into Big, who of course doesn't recognize him because this is a different reality. So then he ends up going into this train station, or egg station. I forget what it's called. It was Scare Junction. That's what the Scare Junction. Thank you. Sorry. I've seen the first episode twice now because I watched it once on Roblox and once while I was binging this, so I'm trying to remember everything. So he goes into this Scare Junction, and he ends up finding a door that looks very similar to the one that is to Tails' lab. And just like there, the password is 1992. Again, really nice reference. So then he goes there, and he finds Tails, or in this case, 9, an alternate version of Tails that's a lot more dark and edgy. I guess that's the way to put it. And of course, 9 doesn't recognize Sonic and attacks him immediately, and they have this awesome fight scene on the train as they like move between different trains, and they're getting filmed by some of the rebels. And after a while, Sonic saves 9's life. They have a little talk. Sonic's shoes start smoldering. So they go back to 9's lab. Sorry, not Tails. 9. To 9's lab. And he makes him these... what were they? Inhibitors? Generators? Crap. Sorry, I forget the name. The circle things. So he puts these circle things on Sonic's gloves and shoes, and that turns into probably one of the coolest new redesigns of Sonic's kicks we've gotten in a while. Like, these are legit sick. A picture's going to show up right about now. It looks so cool, it looks so sick, and it's so unique, but it also feels Sonic. It doesn't feel like out of that design philosophy. It's just something new and different, and here it really works. So Sonic, of course, is amazed by these new kicks, and being the arrogant guy that he is, he goes and tries to take them out for a test drive, only to get caught by the baby Eggman that he fought earlier. So they get captured, and as they're getting captured, you have Knuckles and Rouge, or Rogue and Nux. I believe they're called in this one, right? Rogue and Nux. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. And they decide to follow them and figure out what's going on as they're being taken to the Chaos Council, as they're called. So they get taken to the Chaos Council, where it turns out to be 5 different versions of Eggman, and it turns out they've taken over Green Hill and have rebuilt it in their own image, pretty much. And while there, Sonic also meets a roboticized version of Amy, known as Rusty Rose, who might be one of the most badass looking robots I've seen since the original Terminator. Like, seriously, the design of this is so cool and so unique, and not to mention all the powers and all the things that she can do, which unfortunately I can't talk about until we talk about the next episode tomorrow, because that's when she really comes into action. So, the 5 Eggmans are looking at Sonic, and they decide to put him through some tests. And a lot of this is basic, that classic Sonic-like level design where you have, like, the corkscrews and the spikes and lasers and all kinds of crazy stuff. And then they throw him in a hamster ball, and they once again start picking on not Tails, or in this case, Nine. They start picking on him, shocking him with a little baton thing. And taser, not baton thing, sorry, a taser. Sorry, my brain is literally scrambled right now. So, Sonic gets legit pissed, like, legit angry again, and he decides to use his hamster ball and just go as fast as he can and break out of it. And as he's doing that, he hears and sees some kind of silhouette that looks like Shadow. And then it flashes back to the day before the Prism Shatter, and Sonic's running, trying to get rings and stuff like that. And then the episode ends with Shadow coming in from the other side as Sonic's trying to collect rings and uppercutting the crap out of him. And that is what it leaves on for the first episode. This first episode was awesome, like, legit great. It was funny, it had great animation, seriously. Animation, phenomenal. Like, absolutely phenomenal. Easily the best CG animation that Wild Brain and Man of Action have done. And this is easily their best show since Ben 10. And I think what also makes this show so awesome and so incredible, especially if you're a Sonic fan, is not only the little nods and hints and references thrown all throughout the episode, but the fact that despite it doing the Spider-Verse thing and making, like, this whole new universe and stuff like that, it still feels in line with the franchise. Like, it doesn't feel that out of place. And the voice acting, despite being a lot different than you'd expect, is very, very good here. Like, initially people thought, well, Devin's probably just going to do a imitation of Roger. No. Devin makes this Sonic his own, with his own tone, his own attitude, and his own personality. And Devin does an amazing job as Sonic. Devin Mack, shout out to you, man. You are probably one of the best Sonics in recent memory. And I'm already tempted to start making another voice actors tier list just to see where you fall, because you definitely would fall into the S tier, because your Sonic is fantastic. I love your version of Sonic. And then we come to the rest of the squad. We have Knuckles. The deep voice took a little bit of getting used to, I'm not gonna lie. Even as someone who's seen Sonic Movie 2 a dozen times, it's still very unique from the movie version of Knuckles. But it still feels in line with his character. And then there's Rouge. Rouge sounds fantastic. Like, I absolutely love Rouge in this show. Not to mention, I already glowed about her redesign when the posters got released, but her voice acting, her tone, her character, her personality is entirely in line with her in-game counterpart, as well as having some unique aspects of its own, especially when they get to New York City, where you get these alternate reality versions of the characters. Tails is definitely the one I had a bit of getting used to, because the voice was drastically different from Colleen O'Shaughnessy. which, in my opinion, is the best Tails. And and it did take me a bit to get used to, but I got around to it, and especially this voice actor's performance of 9 is great. And then there's Amy, which I know a lot of people say is a drastically different voice and not that good. I disagree. I think Amy's voice in this show, done by the bartender from the first movie, FYI, she does an amazing job here. Like, she does a great job, again, with that perfect tone and perfect personality, and it just really fits the inline version of these characters that you know, just with its own unique aspects to make it distinct from everything else. Especially Rusty Rose, who, already might be one of my favorite Sonic villains, not only in terms of its design, well, her design, but also the way she talks, the way she moves. Like, it's so robotic, and she's so over-the-top evil that it just really works here. But let's be honest, she got nothing on that nightmare. That nightmare fuel right there. Ain't got nothing on Boo-possessed Amy from X. That thing will haunt you for the rest of your days. But, yeah. Overall final thoughts on episode 1. Thoughts on episode 1. Fantastic first episode, and I am excited to talk about the rest, because I have seen the rest. I just binged the whole thing, and it only gets better from here, guys. Trust me. And, I'm not going to give out final verdicts for any of these, because, they're all 11 out of 10s, like, no joke. And they would just get repetitive if I just said 11, 11, 11, 11. So I think it's better for me to just tell you, go watch it. Go watch this show right now. It is easily the best show of 2022 by a mile. Way better than all the stupid Marvel crap. Way better than, let's be honest, half of Netflix's original stuff nowadays. And definitely the better echelon of Sonic cartoons. It is great, it is fantastic, it is funny, action-packed, and kids are going to absolutely adore it. This is going to be this generation's version of Sonic X. This is going to be a show that may not be all that critically acclaimed by people that aren't affiliated with this franchise, but is going to be a gateway to the franchise for kids, and they are going to have a blast. And they're going to have very fond memories of it when they grow up, too. Okay, that was a mouthful. So, yeah, that's my first episode review of Sonic Prime. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to drop a like, share this video all around, subscribe, hit that ring-a-dingy bell, do that, all that algorithmic garbage to help this channel grow, because we've passed 600 subs. And we are over halfway to 1,000. Once we get to 1,000, I can start doing, like, mobile live streams and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, I'd love to do that. But I think for now, before Christmas, I want to hit at least 650. Yeah, 650 by Christmas is what I'm asking of you guys. And you guys already got me to 600, so it's not like I'm asking for much here. But seriously, guys, if you have a Netflix account, watch it. If you don't have a Netflix account yet, get it just to watch it, then cancel it later. Like, do whatever you gotta do to watch Sonic Prime. It is one of the best shows of the past 10 years. And again, I'm just stoked to talk about the rest of the episodes, because it only gets better from here. So, good job, Wild Brain. Good job, Man of Action. You have a fantastic show here. Now, is it better than Ben 10? That's a tough question. I feel like a lot with Sonic X, I have a lot of favoritism to Ben 10 because it's one of the shows that I grew up with as a kid. Well, more specifically, Alien Force. But honestly, in terms of their CG cartoons, this is without a doubt the best one, because Mega Man and Fully Charged was horrendous garbage. But this is definitely redemption in the best way possible, and I'm excited to see more. So, okay, I'm just ranting in circles now, so I'm just going to cut it off here before I end up ranting in circles for another hour. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm Jack Small of Animation Station. I'll see you guys later today for the Sonic Advance 2 review. And take care. Peace.